Hello, Shining Ones. Magus here on a beautiful day in Asha. If you're brand new to the channel, we're Zoroastrians. We are the Magi. We are book lovers, story lovers. And today we're going to talk about writing is magic. And I was doing kind of a study about writing and language. And you'll see at its root, it was the shamans, the magicians, that were the writers with their symbols and their alphabets and the spoken word. And you'll see all through history the power of the written and spoken word and how it actually could create empires, destroy empires, make a beautiful life, make a hell on earth, all with language, all with words. I've seen this just recently. I'm fascinated with psychology, and a friend of mine, he was having just fears that he knew weren't real, but they were still really ruining his life. And he wasn't really interested in what I do here. So he went to a psychiatrist, and they had him write out his fears, and something about taking it from the dark place of his mind and putting it in the light of day and reading it. He could see with his intellect, oh yeah, that it doesn't make sense, and then something brilliant that I would have done. The doctor had him write out now the truth. That's where the power was, my friend. So he wrote out where he could see with his intellect in the light of day, out of the darkness of his mind, the fear and how he could tell it wasn't real. It didn't make sense. Then he wrote out the truth, and it did make sense. And that became the shift where his healing came from. Very similar to what we do here at the Order of the Magi. I'm going somewhere with this, guys. What I want you to try doing is to start writing and speaking truth. My friends, that is the power of the Magi. And so how this all started, I was looking myself up. And I was asking AI, who do you say I am, right? And author is what it answered. And I like that because an author, it's more than writing books. You're writing things into existence. A great example of that is I've had hundreds of people tell me that they were healed from OCD from reading this little orange book here. Now get this. I never mention OCD or being healed from OCD in this book. What they're getting is the energy that I put into the words because I struggled with OCD. I was healed from OCD, and it was through truth. And so I just wrote truth in this, and I noticed something amazing happening. Testimony after testimony, till there was hundreds, and I couldn't deny it, that people are being healed from OCD from this little orange book that never mentions OCD. And what it is, it's the energy in the words and the power in words. And I started to realize that you don't even realize when you're writing a book like this, the impact it's going to have on the real world, on people's lives, where you can change the whole trajectory of someone's life with the words you write down. Maybe for yourself, like my friend, or maybe for others. The power of writing. Writing is magic. And we've seen this to the ends of healing and also for destruction, right? I think of some of the religions that followed ours. Ours, again, if you're brand new to this, we're Zoroastrians and Magi. It's the original religion. And it's different than all the others that followed because we had an idea of God and truth that's on a level that's completely separate from the lie, illusion, and evil. Where the religions that followed, their God was on a continuum, right? He could love, or he could go down the continuum and hate. He could be a peaceful God, or if you got him angry, right, the outside circumstances would change his nature where he'd get angry, jealous, hate, war, kill men, women, and children, right? He'd move up and down, right? He could heal, or he could send sickness and disease. My friends, that was never in the original religion. And if that ever rubbed you the wrong way, and you find yourself maybe dealing with things like OCD and unnatural fears, it's not a mistake you found this channel today. The original religion, God was just good, the highest principle of good, and it's impossible for him to ever come down into the lower frequencies. And inside of us innately, that's where we long to be. But you'll never find it with one of those mixed gods, mixed words, mixed writings, right? They even call them holy spiritual books, but they're mixed. Right? They're good and bad. They're good and evil. They're light and dark. They heal arson disease. Now, they have apologetic courses you can take to justify the atrocities of their God and their stories. But in your heart, it doesn't matter. You know good is good and bad is bad. And so as you find writings like this book is the only one I've ever come across. I love books. You can see from behind me. I love stories. I love books. You can learn from everything. But I wanted to write a book that was just good, completely good, unmixed. And then I took every word I wrote. I wanted to find the original energy, essence of the word, because you'll see words have lost their meaning. And that's why they're so unsatisfying, right? Even the word God now, where the original name God, word God, meant the highest principle of good, unmixed, undefiled, undiluted, pure good. It wasn't, again, on a continuum, right? The original word God couldn't get angry, jealous, hate, war, kill men, women, and children, destroy his own children, send people to hell. It was impossible for that highest principle. But now when you say God, it doesn't give you what you're looking for, because you're going to have one of the Abrahamic gods, or, I mean, there's so many to choose from these days that just don't capture that original word behind the words. My friends, and that's what I wanted to do with Asha. I wanted to find that true essence in every single word. So you got the word in the words, and that's what heals, the energy you put into it. And you can start doing this today. There's an author in everyone. You're meant to write your story. You don't have to take everyone else's story that was given to you, maybe even forced upon you. My friends, through fear, intimidation, telling you there's no other way, right? They'll tell you you're either going to take their God or the devil. You got two choices. Which one you want? You're either going to take their heaven or hell. Which one do you want? My friends, there's not two choices, right? That's something like you'll read in a parenting book where you give your child two opportunities, right? Do you want to clean your room or get a spanking, right? It's like two things you don't want to do, but you're going to pick the less worst one. And so people pick the what they call gods, which aren't in truth God because they're not fully good, right? Or do you want just complete devil hell? A complete game to keep people in control. And my friends, I won't go through it all, but if you trace it back, it's just a Roman mind control. And this little orange book breaks you free, gives you peace and joy, understanding. It's reasonable. And oh my God, the testimonies I've seen, guys, of people absolutely healed from a mental torment and hell in their own mind, just from bad words, wrong words, empty words. And when you get these full, true, holy, light words, oh, it feels so amazing. Can I read a little bit of it to you? Go to Asha 13 if you have your book. It says, good is good, bad is bad. That is our formula of the Magi. You know, magic was named after the Magi, and people want it to be more complicated than it is. There's our formula. Guys, it's so simple. So if you hear a story that doesn't make you feel good, you know it's not God. A lot of those Bibles and or stories and Bibles and Qurans and different so-called religious books that don't make you feel good, maybe bring a little fear, you can know it's not God, because good is good and bad is bad. It's black and white. If you go back to the original religion, it says the original word, right? The very essence of energy that created the first form in matter was just good. All good comes from the Creator, and no evil comes from him, not for any reason. Man can be acting the fool. The true God doesn't leave his high position to have to come down now and get angry and smite and kill and war and kill men, women, and children and light it all on fire. And now he's angry and hateful. And then he comes back up to his high position. Those are complete lies. And in your heart, you know the truth, my friends. The truth will always resonate with you. Good is just always good. Good is good. So simple. No evil comes from the Creator. And from this original word, this energy, this spoken word, this truth, my friends, it says your spiritual world is made straight, meaning your everything that you are starts to vibrate at the same frequency and energy of that highest principle of God. That's true salvation, true awakening, whatever you want to call it, truly be born again, is when you are vibrating at the same frequency as your God. That's why it's so important you pick the right God. If you pick one of the Abrahamic religion gods that get angry, jealous, hate, war, kill men, women, children, love you if you're doing right, hate you, kill you, destroy you if you're doing wrong, that's what your world's going to look like. You'll never rise above your God. That's why a lot of the world looks the way it does, because of the God that they've become one with, that they've taken that spirit into them. My friends, if you'll go back to the original, the all good, you start to feel, get this, all good, happy, joyful. Things make sense. The universe, the world, God again just looks like the perfect loving parent. It's beautiful. Once your spiritual inner world comes into order and harmony, your outer world will come into harmony. So I love the way it says this. It says, from the original word is the spiritual world made straight and the material world brought into order, right? It's energy makes form and matter. Simple. Now get this. The original word of false religion. This is the religions that followed ours. What is religion? It's just a set of beliefs, stories, ideas that you've chosen to hold, maybe because it was given to you from someone you trust and love, and that love you, weren't trying to harm you. That's just all they had to give. They didn't have the idea of the original religion. Think about that. How many people, other than my regulars here, have heard of Zoroastrianism, the original religion? You can go on AI right now, go Google it, hit the AI mode and say, what was the first monotheistic religion? It'll tell you Zoroastrianism. It'll tell you the other religions that branched off of it and changed it, right? Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and they changed the image of God. And if religion is all about the God you become one with, and they change that God, my friends, it's going to change your life, your frequency, your mind. A lot of people think they're losing their mind, and they keep crying out to the same God that destroyed their mind with its confusion and its darkness and its conditional love. And they wonder why they're in a hell. So the original word of false religion is that evil comes from the Creator. And in this false idea is all the evil that creatures suffer. We could end all suffering in the world if we go back to the original all good God. My friends, it's going to take some work. It's going to take all of us coming together, writing out truth, speaking truth while holding that energy. And my friends, I know it seems like a big job, but we're doing it. Have you seen how much the world has changed in just the last 10 years we've been together here? It's a whole new world. At least I know in my world and my surroundings, the Abrahamic religions don't even really exist anymore. There's no more Jehovah's and Allahs, and there's no more devils and demons. At least where I am in this dimension, we've gone above that. We've gone above those ridiculous stories and ideas, and it's a much more peaceful place, my friends. But you know what? Asha 1 talks about it. It's an ever-expanding good. Good is just our baseline, and it gets gooder and gooder, godder and godder, more beautiful all the time, higher and higher dimensions to just keep going and creating as we go. It's so beautiful. It's the magic of writing, the magic of true words. My friends, Asha, the perfect creator's perfect idea. And I know you already know this, but I have to tell you, I love, love, love you.